Hello. It has been a long time, hasn't it? Welcome to what has formerly been known as Our Power is Within and is being converted to an all new Kindcast. So I'll explain all of this coming soon. I've been wanting to come on here for quite a while and do an update episode to share with you all what I've been up to, what's new, and what's next for me. And I'm finally sitting down to do it. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a pretty huge win for me back in March. I went to a very large reggae festival. And I shared my experience of the day and the contrast between that experience and then what a regular concert looked and felt like for me only a few years ago. And it really showed a lot of progress. So, yeah, that was really awesome. But I don't want to make this long. I don't want to make it a really in-depth episode, but I do want to share a few of the things that I've been up to and some of the things that I really owe my progress to. And honestly, overall life, it has been really good to me. I'm learning more and more each day, and I'm learning that our life is truly what we make it. No matter where we are in the journey, I am really understanding how our feelings, our beliefs about our life, and our actions all shape the experiences we have. I have been really intentional about practicing gratitude and making a conscious effort every single day to remember and to actually feel grateful for the infinite reasons there are to be grateful and in appreciation. Like the fact that I woke up today. I mean, life itself. Every extra day of living to me matters and is worthy of my gratitude. And more I'm discovering the beauty all around me. I'm practicing. I would love to say I've already accomplished this, but I am practicing slowing down enough to actually soak it in. I'm learning how to find joy and simplicity and see the beauty that's always been there. So, maybe that's an hour of pickleball or a book club gathering with friends, geeking out over a really good story, or I sit outside and notice the way the palm trees dance in the coastal breeze, or in the mornings when I watch the butterflies hovering over my pollinator garden. Oh yeah, so sorry, I digress. But a side note, speaking of that, I've actually been doing a ton of gardening. I've kind of become obsessed with it. With plants, especially natives. The more I learn, the more I just want to keep learning and geek out on it. So it is probably my newest addiction. The balance that I'm also learning is that that even good things can become bad. I don't want to say bad. Even good things can be mistreated. I can't really think of the word I want to say. We can have our life filled with a lot of really great things that we're really excited about, that we really love doing. And the approach we take at life and how we immerse ourselves in these activities and the pace sometimes does not support us or the end goals we might have in mind. That's the lesson right now. That is where I'm learning that I have a lot of really great things I love, but that it's also okay to go slow and remember that there's not a rush to the finish line and that it's okay if some things don't get done today, you know? So that's just where I've been ebbing and flowing, is this intermix of all these things that I've been in love with about life, and also remembering for my nervous system that it's okay to go slow, to take it easy, to rest, to have downtime, to not have to do it all. What else? I've been having a regular movement practice that I have genuinely enjoyed. It's been such a gift, even if the progress feels slow. Recently, about 5 weeks ago, I started running again very slowly. I've been doing run walk intervals and just kind of using classic brain retraining like DNRS rounds combined with slowly increasing my exposure so that I can honestly just allow my body and my brain to adapt to the movement. And that has been thrilling. I love running. Um, for me, running really feels like an expression of freedom, the ability to just get up and go anytime I want. Uh, I've been blogging about it actually on my website and Substack. Probably gets boring after a while, but I'm mostly blogging to keep myself accountable. I did like 4 weeks in a row, and now I'll transition to like bi-weekly or maybe like a once a month update. I'm currently on a break because I did feel a little weird, like ankle twinge, and it could be nothing, but it could be something. And for me, I'm not really of the mindset of ignore things and push through anymore. That's the old me. And from my understanding, I can't get sick in the same way, or I can't get well in the same way I got sick. So just trying to do things a little different around here. Anyhow, so many things. And I would love to have you reach out anytime and we can have a chat, catch up, because I do love hearing from everybody and I love hearing your wins and your updates as well. So, with that said, a while back, as many of you know who are going to be tuned in, I took a break from the podcast about a year ago now. Maybe longer. It was longer. I took a break and then I kind of did some intermittent episodes, feeling it out, figuring out what capacity I had for the podcast. And at the time, I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what the future had in store. I just knew I needed a break. I wasn't feeling aligned and I didn't want to force it. And I also knew it wasn't like the right time to make any big decisions without clarity. So I wrote it out to see what came up for me. And I finally have clarity. But before I tell you what's next, although I think you probably already have an idea from the beginning, I do just want to say thank you for anyone who's still here, who's still tuning in. After all this time, if you still found this episode and turned it on and tuned in, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing these episodes. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for being a guest on these episodes. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for allowing Our Power is Within to become something, quite frankly, so much bigger than I ever imagined, with over 180 episodes and over, 265,000 downloads and counting. Countless messages, friendships, and stories from all of you. I don't take any of it for granted. So thank you. But with that said, I'm actually super duper excited. Because I've decided that it's actually time to retire Our Power is Within podcast. When I first started Our Power is Within, there really wasn't many other podcasts quite like it. It became a place where we could share these incredible stories of recovery, healing, hope, and possibility. And since 2020, honestly, there are so many amazing podcasts out now and YouTube channels that have been created that continue sharing these wonderful, inspiring recovery stories. And I love it. I love it so much. And Our Power is Within is always going to have a library of more than 180 episodes. With all these beautiful guests sharing so much wisdom, inspiration, and hope. The stories will not be going anywhere. They will always be there for you whenever you need them. In fact, if you are actually ever looking for a specific topic, you can head over to my website and you can actually use a search feature to help find exactly what you're looking for. But something for me happened along the way. As I mentioned in one of my previous episodes, I started to feel a little overwhelmed by the information overload myself. I realized that there comes a point where we kind of have to stop consuming and start living. And don't get me wrong, every one of these stories have incredible value, which is why I created the podcast in the first place. But we all know that in the last, with every year, like the wealth of information we have access to and technology advances so rapidly and multiplies so exponentially. And so we are really, truly surrounded by so much information constantly at our fingertips: books on audio, podcasts, social media, YouTube, articles, experts, advice, and the list goes on. And something for me that I've learned more than anything is that at some point, we do need to step away from learning so that we can actually integrate what we've learned into our lives. The difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing, wisdom is integrating, living. So I guess I realized how much value there is in getting out and living my own life, not just listening to everyone else's, because healing doesn't just happen while we're consuming information. It also happens while we're laughing with friends and trying something new and moving our bodies or planting beautiful flowers or traveling and creating memories and just simple living. And so, yeah, I guess that realization changed something in me. And so while at one point I thought that I would eventually resume Our Power Is Within in the same capacity that it was, I have realized that if I am going to continue podcasting, it does need to not only look, but feel different for me so that it feels aligned for where I'm at. And that is what brought me to Kindcast. Yay! So yeah, the conclusion I've come to, honestly, it's been sitting pretty heavy on my heart for quite a while now, is that I want to move away from educational podcasting towards something lighter, storytelling, something shorter, something sweeter, something where we can spend less time listening and more time living. But I also wanted whatever I created next to continue supporting the amazing healing community that we have all built together. And then one day, it clicked. I had my aha moment. A little good for your day, Kindcast. Most of us on this healing journey, we know how important it is to gently retrain our brains away from a negativity bias. We know how healing it is to experience moments of joy, gratitude, laughter, connection, and hope, to flood our bodies with feel-good dose chemicals. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, right? You feel me? And yet the world every day seems to flood us with the exact opposite. We go online, we go on social media with good intentions, but we can still find ourselves surrounded by bad news, fear, division, reasons to worry, reasons to be angry, reasons to believe that humanity is falling apart or segregated. Constantly being bombarded by like what's not working, what's not good enough, what other people are doing better, where I'm falling short, on and on and on. But something that I've discovered is that's not the whole story. And since I've made this decision to start Kindcast, I've been intentionally looking for the good. I've been looking at work, in my neighborhood, in my friendships, in my community, offline, online. And honestly, I've been so overwhelmed by how much goodness is happening every single day. Every day. Every day, people doing extraordinary things every single day. Helping neighbors, supporting strangers, showing compassion, offering kindness, being generous, lifting one another up. These stories are everywhere. They're just quieter. Or sometimes a little hidden in the ruckus, sometimes overlooked. I mean, don't get me wrong, I can go on Nextdoor or Facebook and I can go into comments and I can see cruel, mean stuff and I could focus on that. But something that I've been learning over the last month that I've been collecting stories is I learned that I can just kind of also skip over all that and I can really look for the good. And when I start looking for the good and really focus on the good and not fixating or noticing or consuming myself with the bad, the mean things people say, the awful things out there happening, it's like suddenly it's everywhere and it shifts my perception. And we all know that when our perception shifts, our reality, everything shifts. When my perception shifts, everything shifts. So it's been really powerful for me. And my hope is that Kindcast isn't just me sharing stories. I hope that it becomes a community podcast, a collection of people who intentionally seek out the good happening all around them and help the stories travel further. I hope that you will begin to seek out and notice kindness in your own community, something that you did for someone. Maybe it's something you witnessed. Maybe it's something that somebody did for you. I want to hear all the stories. I want to share all the stories. So if you could share them with me, that would be awesome. And maybe sometimes that means you'll email me a story to share, and sometimes maybe you'll be a guest on the podcast and you can share your own story, because these stories do really matter, you guys. They really do. And I really cannot speak enough to the fact that the more I keep looking, the more I feel the benefits of the looking and focusing on it. These stories, they remind us something that we need to remember from time to time. There really is good in this world. And I really want every episode to leave you feeling just a little lighter, a little more hopeful. And honestly, hopefully, more than anything, also a little more inspired to go out and create a little good of your own. Not through any giant acts. It can just be millions of small ones, one small one at a time. A smile, a helping hand, a conversation, an act of kindness, eye contact, helping somebody feel seen, heard, understood, loved. These little things, they add up. And who knows where one small act of kindness might lead, right? If you do good, if you see good, I want you to share good. Social media, use hashtag Kindcast. It's KINDCAST so that I can find it, celebrate it, and even share it with others. Remember, all good counts. It doesn't have to be big, huge, heroic moments. Sometimes it's the smallest little acts that leave the biggest impact. So who's with me? Same heart, same mission, just a new name, and a whole lot of goodness. What? Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the first official episode of Kindcast, because I cannot build this by myself. Kindcast only works if we build it together. So if you've already got a story simmering in your mind, please send it my way. I really would love to hear it and share it. And until then, I'll see you soon for a little good for your day. XO.